All right, so we are driving around testing out the Rustler plus the HeadTracker V4 system. I just wanted to get another couple tests on the ground before I put this in the timber, just for purely my own sanity's sake. But so far, I'm liking how it's looking. The reason I didn't start next to me is because I forgot to record the goggles, so you might get a little prelude of me just driving around by myself without any goggle stuff. But something I did notice, so while I'm sitting here just solid, I can look around, everything's really smooth. But when I'm going and I'm looking around, it gets choppy. See how it's just like snapping in and out? I don't know why that is, because it's not due to the battery that I'm using, because I'm using a separate battery for the head tracking unit altogether. So I wonder, like, if it's as it's going, the pogo pins are kind of like slightly separating, so they're disconnecting, but the oh yeah, big drifts. The fail-safe, if they do disconnect, is look straight, so it should be like snapping to the center and back. But instead it's just like being choppy, so I don't really know what that issue is. But I'm gonna find this path again, because I can drive all around here, get different views of stuff, and rip around the path. Maybe find some wildlife like I did last time. But there should be enough range. I don't have the patch antennas on my goggles. I am facing this way. I'm right over that way. I'm facing this way, but again, I only have the 4 omnidirectional antennas, so I see my megabits per second is 8, 10, now I'm up to 24. But if I had those patch antennas on my goggles, I'd probably be able to have even more range than this. But again, there is a whole pond, etc. in between, so I'm not really upset. Can I hear the beeper? Oh, sure. Hear the beeper? You probably can't from there, but I heard it. See, look both ways. Look at the urban architecture. But yeah, just range testing. Seeing how the system's working, because again, yeah, we got pogo pins, we got a new connector, or a new receiver. That was another thing. I had an EP2 that is a serial receiver on the head tracking system. I can't tell if I'm hearing beeps or not. But it had the EP2 on this system, and I changed over to the RM4 because the EP2 is a serial-based receiver that I changed over to output PWM signals, which just means that it can output 2 servos directly, and that's what I wanted, right? For head tracking, I wanted to just go straight to the servos, and that worked fine. But the antenna on the EP2 is a ceramic antenna. Bird? Nope. It's a ceramic antenna, which is a little square box, which is fine for smaller, close things, but the antenna for the RM4 is right there. You can kind of see it's blurry, but it's a coaxial cable. It's a normal whip antenna, which should get a lot more range. I should really be pointing that vertical, but there's also the RM6 antennas going straight up right there, and then the DJI ones to the far right. So we got a whole lot of antennas going on, which might be causing problems at some point, you know, with too many signals going around. We're back to here. I just want to test out, see how things are going. Of course, show off the GPS, which is right out front. But see, as I get going and getting bumpy, if I'm just looking smoothly, it kind of chops up. Does it chop down? Maybe it's just, oh yeah, kind of. But I just want to make sure this is all holding up as I kind of rock crawl around here. That's another thought too. At some point, maybe I'll get a bigger RC car to put this system in, because it should be eventually universal of just plug and play. As long as you got this green plug-in system, you see the green down there. But that is the goal, is that whatever vehicle I use, whether it's the Rustler, whether it's a Timber X, eventually it's going to be a Yak 9, which is an EDF, which should be really, really cool. But I just want to take this whole system out, plug it into the new vehicle, and drive with it without any extra stress or time wasted, because I really like just plugging in. The thing I did with the receivers is that they're all on the model match and they're all on number 3, so that no matter what transmitter I'm using, as long as they're all set to model number 3, they should connect just fine. And so then you bind them up, and then even though I'm using 2 different receivers, the transmitter should be able to talk to it no problem. So I'm going along just fine. Liking how things are going. I got some good range, got some good drifts in here. I was thinking about adding the a run cam, which we've used in the past. We put on the back of our Timber X, as well as on I think a few other planes. But if I made some mount that would put it like right in this direction, facing the tire, so you get those cool like tire shots that you see in like movies. But if I had it over there, I could just get more cool angles, or maybe a 360 cam on the back, or something to just gather more angles, because you know, when I'm drifting like this, that'd be cool to see other stuff. But with that comes, like, this car is ample, or it has ample room for stuff like this HeadTracker for the GPS or all the other accoutrement. But if it was even a bigger RC car, that could have even more stuff, and you see where I'm getting at, if I got bigger cars. So if there are cars that you'd like me to try out or use, ooh, this might be tight. Rock crawl, rock crawl. Yeah, if you have cars that you think I would enjoy or could handle some FPV RC, you know, stuff that we like doing, let me know, because RC cars are pretty cool. Or if you have stuff that you don't want, you're willing to get rid of, let me know too. We've got an email, it's Inverted Aviators RC @gmail.com. Feel free to reach out there or on Discord, or however you want to contact. We're always looking for new fun RC stuff. Or if you're a big brand watching this, like Horizon Hobby, E-Flight, whoever, Traxxas. Ooh, that's a great way to get stuck, because if I just roll into there. Do I have my reverse working? Yeah, I do. Rock crawl. Yeah, I think I'm going to get stuck if I try to go in there. Let me just back up. It's really cool, though. Ooh, is that a way out? But yeah, it'd be really cool to have a little bigger RC car that can handle stuff. Maybe I put lights on it. I do have a 6-channel receiver. I'm only using 3, so there is opportunities for other stuff. I'm just asking to get stuck. I mean, not that far away from me. I think I'm right over there. But it's just cool to look at other things with RC. Just goosing it around. No more geese, or there was the other day, which is a bummer. I like seeing the wildlife. Right now there's not a lot of mosquitoes. It's just nice out. Hopefully, yeah, from the last video, if you've used the GPS tool that I made, it's on the GitHub, let me know, because it's, I don't know, it's fun, it's free. Whoa. Ugh. Whoa, I got almost stuck in something. Don't want to get stuck. But yeah, let me know if you've used it, or if there's other things you want added to that tool, because it was a fun little project, just, you know, seeing if I can get things to work. But yeah, it's always fun to make fun stuff, especially when other people get to use it. But yeah, that's probably how you're seeing the GPS stuff, as long as the GPS stuff is working. Any cool stuff in here? Yeah. I was thinking if I could get altitude out of this GPS, which I think I can, I could also make like a 3D map of where I went. Because right now it's just 2D, obviously it's a little racetrack looking thing. But if I could get the third dimension, I could somehow turn into a 3D plot and kind of show like, ooh, I'm going down a hill, up a hill. It might be cooler with planes, because you can actually see like the altitude changing and like where I actually went. But that's at least the thought process. Maybe I should try to drive way over here. And I've been going at like 50% throttle max for the majority of this, just because I'm cruising around. No need to show off the speed. I like it when I'm on the track, because then it's just, or the pavement, because it's smoother. Let me go this way. I'm over that way. I'm still facing this way, or facing at me, so the I'm not hurting myself by not having good antenna placement, except it's not the patch antenna like I said before. Can I make it all the way up here? Oh yeah. There was people over here playing soccer a little while ago. It's always like deceptively dark out after I take the goggles off. Like, it looks just fine. Are there people over here? Can't really tell. Can't tell if that's a person or a bench. I'm gonna be able to still turn tail if I need to. Is that a bike? Well, none of my business. Time to just drive it around. But we're going for 11 minutes. Still going strong. Still hopefully getting some cool data out with the GPS. But let's see if I can bring it back over here. Maybe we'll do another loop around the pond. That's kind of fun. Let's see, how many volts?
5.9 volts.
So that is interesting because it was at 5.9 like the whole time.
5.9 volts.
And that's just a little trigger that tells me the battery voltage based on the direct, what's it called, line going from the RM6 to the battery. And I'd be real surprised if it was at 5.9 this whole time, because that means I've used no battery and it's been at least 12 minutes of recording, and I did drive around a bit beforehand not recording. So what's this way? A lot of good places to get stuck, that's for sure. That's what I get for getting cocky. Now, I know exactly where I am, so I'm not worried about that, but I would love to just power. I am slowly turning. Ugh. I'm turning, but I'm... This is why I need a little bigger RC car. Ooh, am I going? Oh, no way. No! Alright, I'm gonna go pack up and grab it, because I think I was stuck, and then I was out, and then this grass is just a little too long, so I'm gonna go pack up stuff and grab it. But thank you so much for watching. Man, I went right off the road.